Good morning, class. We are on lesson 12 today on page 95 of your workbooks. 95. It says 95 right here. We're on page 95. But before we get going, I have a question for you. The question is, why are obtuse angles so depressed? The answer? Because they're never right. Please hold your applause. Please hold your applause. And no charge. No charge on the comedy. Okay, consider yourselves lucky. All right, so we are on section 1, rectangles A, B, and C. Now, it's going to be a lot of drawing shapes. I'm going to take you to my computer here in a little bit. But the big thing for volume, guys, write down this formula. The volume, no matter what shape, is area of the base times the height. That's how you get to volume. That covers whether it's a triangle on the bottom, a circle for a cylinder type shape, square or rectangle. It's all the same. Area of the base times the height. So before we get going, make sure you have that in your notes. That's going to make it a lot easier for you going through this lesson. So take a look at these here. Now I'm just going to make note of the area of the base. This is the bottom. It says they're the bottom, the base of these prisms. Okay, remember prism means it looks the same, has the same base on top of the bottom, doesn't come to a peak like your pyramids do. But the area of this one would be 3 by 1, so the area of this base would be 3. This is 2 by 2 is 4. This is 2 by 6, so 12. Okay, so number 1 is saying if each prism had the same height, which one had the greatest volume? Okay, so you could say the height's 5 on all of them. You could say the height's 2 on all of them. It doesn't matter. Easiest would probably be the 1. So picture a 3 by 1 shape here, coming up 1. Well, what's the volume going to be? What's the height going to be? This one is asking us for the volume. Height's the same, so we're going to just say height is 1. You can use, again, any number. It just has to be the same for all of them. Remember, volume is area of the base times the height. So 3 times 1, 4 times 1, 12 times 1 says which one will have the greatest volume. Okay, well, C should have the biggest volume. Okay, because the height's the same, why does C have the biggest volume? Because it has the biggest base. Has the largest base. Then which one will have the least? That would be A, complete opposite, because it has the smallest base. Okay, number 2, if each prism has the same volume, which one would have the tallest height? Which one would have the shortest? And explain. Now this is kind of the exact opposite. Now the volumes are the same. Okay, so the volume of all of them is 50, let's say. Okay, or it might be nice that if we can find a number that 3 times 4, or 3, 4, and 12 go into. So let's say the volume is 36. Okay, just because that should make it very, very simple for us. So now it has the same volume. You can pick any number you want for the volume. I'm going to use 36. So 12 times what is 36? Okay, so the height of this one would be 3 if that was the case. 4 times what is 36? The height would be 9. 4 times 9 is 36. And 3 times what is 36? That'd be 12. Okay, so if they have the same volume, which one would be the tallest? Well, A would be the tallest because it has the smallest base. Same exact reason we gave here. Which one would be the shortest? C would be the shortest because it had the biggest base. So we answered the same exact thing as number 1 for 2 different questions. Okay, question number 2. Your teacher will give you a piece of paper to shape on it with some snap cubes. This is going to be pretty sweet. I had enough snap cubes for all the groups to draw these out and to figure out the height. I just, again, encourage you to go to that interactive feature and do it on there. For the next one, it's going to give us a 3-dimensional figure here. We're going to do this one together. Yeah, let's just do it now. I was going to wait and so I wouldn't have to bring you back. But let's just talk about the different shapes here. It says, are they a prism or are they not? Remember, the definition of a prism, guys, is if you cut the base, the top and bottom are the same. If you cut it, you should get the same throughout, the same shape. That's why a pyramid doesn't work, because as you cut and get to the top, it's going to get smaller. So I'm going to show you the base here, then I'll kind of write them out as we go. Then I'll show you this chart so you can have them as well. Wants to know the area of the base, the height, and the volume. Okay, so let's take a peek here at the first one. Again, I'm going to take you to the computer. Don't get motion sickness or anything on me. Okay, so here's the first shape. Okay, is that a prism? Is the top and bottom the same? If I would cut a horizontal cut through there parallel to the bases, would I get the same shape? And hopefully you're saying yes. Yes, I would get a square. So on your chart there, is it a prism? Yes. What is the area of the base? Well, it looks like it's a cube and all the sides are the same. So the area of the base would be 25. What's the height? Okay, so what would each side have to be? Since it looks like it's a cube, square prism, what times what would give me 25? And the height would be 5. And what's the volume? Well, I'd take the area of the base, which you told me was 25, and the height is 5, so 25 times 5 is 125. Let's go to figure B. Okay, more complicated figure here. Looks like the base is a pentagon, so this would be a pentagonal. Now, is it a prism? Again, if I would horizontal cut that thing, would I still get a pentagon? Same exact shape? Yes, I would. I would definitely get the same shape. So is it a prism? Yes. Area of the base. Okay, it looks like it gives me the area. Top and bottom should be the same. It's giving me the area up there of 15. Height is 45. Okay, so what is... That shouldn't be squared though, that should just be 45 centimeters if that's the height. Oh no, that's not giving me the height. I bet it's giving me the area of the side. Okay, it's giving me the area of this big rectangle. Okay. Yeah, so they got that one poorly labeled. Let's just say we'll just say it's 45 centimeters. So the volume would be 15, which is the base, times the height. So 15 times 45, and again, you guys can use a calculator, that's fine with me. 15 times 45, I get 675. Okay, figure C. Okay, is that a prism? Hopefully you say no. So definitely if I would cut that thing horizontally, it's not going to be the same size as the bottom. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexagonal pyramid. You can simply write no, it's not a prism, and we're done with that one. Figure D. Okay, now again, the base on this one is facing you. Okay, the base is facing you on this one. So I would say yes, it is a prism. Looks like it's a triangular prism. So if I would set it on this end, so picture standing that up, and I would slice it, I would get triangles the same size. That's why it's a prism. Okay, the area of the base, I'm guessing that's that 24. Height, again, this one is poorly labeled. Let's just say the height is 6 centimeters on this one. So 24 times 6 would be 144. Now we got 2 figures left. E. That's definitely, it looks like 2 triangular prisms together. So no matter how I would slice that, it's definitely going to look different. So that is not a prism. The cross sections are not the same throughout. And we're going to our last figure. Okay, looks like the base is maybe a rhombus. Okay, maybe a rhombus on this one. So I'm going to say it's a rhombal prism. Kind of a funny name. So the base on that one looks like 35. Height, again, they don't have that label very well. Let's say it's 3. Height is 3, so 35 times 3 is 105. All right, I'm going to take you back so you can copy down the charts. Again, a couple things. It does have it labeled here, so the area is always centimeters squared. Heights are in centimeters. Volume is always cubed. Centimeters cubed. I guess you can pause it if you need more time to get those numbers down. These you can just leave blank. All right, don't worry about the are you ready. Let's talk about the final question, number 4. Okay, order the prisms. This is a base on all of them, just kind of like the first example we did. Order the prisms from shortest to tallest. So first thing I'm going to do is find the area of all the bases. Okay, so if it's a nice square like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I can just count them. Okay, area is 8. This base, a triangle, looks like it's 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 by 5. Remember, area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, because it's really hard to count these little chunks here. So 3 times 5 is 15, divided by 2 is 7.5. Okay, this one I'm going to kind of split up. Here I have a rectangle that's 3 by 4, so that's 12. Triangle here is 2 by 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Then divided by 2 because it's a triangle. So this area is 1 total here, and this area would be the same 1 here. So 12 plus 1 plus 1. The area of the base is 14. And this one, again, I can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have all the info I need now. So if they have the same volume, the one that order the prism from the shortest to the tallest. So the shortest would be the smallest base. Shortest to the tallest, same volume. Okay, so the biggest base means the height must be shorter. Okay, so I'm looking for the biggest base, to get the shortest, because it's a big number minus a small, or times a small number. Okay, so which one has the biggest base? That will be my shortest. Okay, C, A, B, and then D would have to be the tallest, because 5 times to get the number is going to be, because it has the same volume, it's going to take it times the biggest number. Explain your reasoning. Okay, explain your reasoning. Again, the biggest base means it's going to be a shorter figure. Number 2, if the volumes are all 60, what's the height of each? Okay, if the volume is 60, what's the height of each prism? Okay, so I'm going to take A here, B, C, D. So remember, the heights times what would give me 60. So the first one, 8 times what would give me 60. So I am going to just do it on my calculator here with you. 60 divided by 8 would be 7.5. To get my height of B, I'm going to take 60 divided by my base of B was 7.5. That is 8. C was 14, so 60 divided by 14. It's about 4.3. And 60 divided by 5 is 12. And again, that's going to match up with the order we wrote these in. Okay, and my label there would, of course, all be in units. For volume other than 60, what could be the height of each prism? Okay, so let's say the volume is 80. So what would the height be? So it's the exact same question we did here. So I'm going to take 80 divided by 8. That's an easy one. 10. 80 divided by 7.5. That was my base of B. Is 10 2/3. 14, or 60 divided by, no, it's 80, divided by 14. 5.7. And 80 divided by 5 would be 16. Okay, again, it's going to be the same order that we wrote for question number 1. No matter what the volume is, it's always going to follow this pattern. Shortest, a little bigger, tallest. So we just proved that for question 2 and 3. All right, again, the summary there, guys. Here's the big equation. Volume equals area of the base times the height. Your assignment will be on page 101 to 102, 6 questions. All right. Hopefully you guys are all, again, staying safe and healthy. I really miss you guys. Take care, and we will talk to you soon.